Hi guys, this is Dwayne at Cancer Warriors. Today I have a very important subject that I want to talk to you about. It's called the survival rate, or better yet, the contribution of cytotoxic chemotherapy to 5-year survival in adult malignancies. This is something that every cancer patient should have in their hands, complete study, or their family members should have. You should have this so you cannot be backed into a corner by your oncologist and scaring you into taking chemotherapy, which kills far more than it ever cures. Now, this study was shared in the June 2004 Oncological Journal. This is a peer-reviewed journal of oncologists. This is their journal. Anyhow, this study was done both in, they call it the Australian study, however, it was done in Australia. As a matter of fact, it was done on 73,000 patients, but it was also done in the U.S., and it was done on 154,971 patients. Now, it gives a complete breakdown of many different cancers. For instance, head and neck, esophagus, stomach, colon, rectum, pancreas, lung, soft tissue sarcoma, melanoma, breast, uterus, cervix, ovary, prostate, testes, bladder, kidney, brain, and so forth. 154,971, you might as well say 155,000. Guess what their 5-year survival rate is? Now, if you listen to oncologists, they'd say, oh, 60%, 2.1%. That is the facts. That is the hardcore facts, 2.1%. So why would you take chemotherapy? Well, because you were pressured by your doctor and or family members that that's the way to go. I want to break this study down a little bit more to some of the common cancers. Lung cancer, 20,000. 410 survived 5 years, 2%. Let's go down to breast cancer. 31,000 breast cancer patients. And here in my area, women are getting breast cancer like it's a cold, like it's contagious. 446 survived 5 years, 1.4%. A shame, a real shame. Cervix cancer, 1,825, 219 survived, 12%. That's a little bit better. The only cancers that had showed any kind of progress from chemotherapy, that is progress during the last 50 years since President Nixon waged the war or launched the war on cancer, are testicular, 37.7%, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, 10.5%, and Hodgkin's disease, 40.3%. This is a tragedy, a real tragedy. 2.1% survived 5 years? Well, why? You know, when I went and got my diagnosis, my oncologist said, he wanted to remove my prostate. He wouldn't give me any other options. No seed radiation, nothing. It had to be surgery. And I said, well, what are my chances? He says, well, if you have it removed now, your 5-year survival, it's probably an 80% chance. Hello? It'll be 6 years next month. I guess I kind of messed their statistics up. Sorry, doctor. I didn't have this information then. I didn't know a lot. I did know that I had 4 family members that died way before their time. And once they had radiation and or chemo, It was downhill, a rapid downhill in most cases. That's one of the reasons I'm in here today, to share the knowledge I have gained. But I'll tell you what, since I've been on Facebook, some 5 years in general pages and about 1.5 years in Cancer Warriors, I've seen a lot of people that went through the chemo. They didn't want to take it again. They nearly died from the chemo. They got out on a natural protocol and was doing better. And one day they went to their doctor, and the doctor did some tests and said, "You're cancer-free." Beware of those words, cancer-free. Please beware. It is my belief, this is only my belief, others share this belief with me. It is my belief that once you've had cancer, you probably will always have cancer. However, you can keep it at bay if you have a proper protocol. That means diet, supplements, little or no sugar. If you're going to have sugar, natural sugar in the form of fruit and vegetables, no processed foods, and if you stick by that, your cancer probably won't return. Even if you've had chemo. The trouble with chemo is chemo does not kill the cancer stem cells, or is very poor at killing the cancer stem cells. Look your oncologist in the eye and says, "Well, doctor, what about those cancer stem cells? Are you telling me that chemo is going to kill them?" Well, what is a stem cell? Well, that's the basic cell. That's where you've got that cell circulating in your bloodstream, and it attaches or metastasizes to some part of your body. It could be your lung, it could be bone, brain, kidney, liver, and then it grows a tumor. Well, it doesn't grow a tumor in one day or 1 year. Typically, it takes about 8 years to grow a tumor large enough to be detectable by a mammogram or a PET scan. That's right. Those so-called early detection methods, if you consider 8 years as early, so be it. By then, it's throughout the body, and when you get cancer stem cells, in the case of a prostate, PSA is not going to detect that, mammogram is not going to detect it, PET scan is not going to detect it, until the tumor is up around 1.5 centimeters, which is almost 1/3 of an inch. That's pretty big. That's about the size of the end of your little finger. Plus, when you're using PET scans, which is radioactive sugar molecules, or a mammogram, which is radiation, you increase your chance of cancer every time. After you've used chemo and radiation, those cancer stem cells are almost immortal. They become very resistant. To chemo and radiation. Very resistant. So when they come back with a vengeance. And because you took chemo and or radiation, your immune system is going to be shot. There's nothing there to fight cancer on it. So remember this. Please remember this. I'm going to share a link where you can print this file. It's a PDF file. It's about 14 pages long. Like I say, you won't understand a lot of it, but I'm sure you'll understand these charts. It's got the U.S. on one side and Australia on the other side. Nearly 300,000 people did not survive 5 years after chemo. I don't want it. I'm not going to have it. My soul was hardened to the chemo treatment after I seen what happened to my mother. Don't let that person be you. Please do not let that person be you. Arm yourself with knowledge. Don't let your oncologist back you into a corner. In the meantime, have a good day and hopefully cancer-free, or at least keep your cancer at bay. Good day.